Captain's Log Supplemental.
So, Miss Vicky.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember when we were watching those WRL events and some of those grid life events where you used to see the in-car video and it had like the cameras seeing front and back, but it also could see all the telemetry and everything that was going on?
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of the ones that we liked were taken by the Sentinel system. Remember James came on our podcast earlier?
Right.
You know, we have no excuse since he lent us one for trial and demonstration purposes. We should actually probably put that in one of our cars. Maybe two.
I really think we should.
I think we should.
I know.
Because then we'd look like the immature endurance racing team that we are. Oh, wait, I mispronounced that, didn't I? Sorry, my bad. We could
So what does the Sentinel system do?
We could have 3 cameras with picture-in-picture. We could have, if we ever get the AIM system to work, open invitation to anybody from AIM to come on and give us a little bit of love. We need some help. And then we could have all our telemetry on there. And then we can have it streamed live into the paddock or around the world to our millions of fans. We're apparently very popular in Kenya right now. Don't know why, but that's fine. And it can integrate all the available race statistics from like Race Hero and everything. So we could actually see how we're doing on video. We wouldn't even have to carry around our phone anymore. Live.
I love it.
From the great halls of their house, there are assembled 3 who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team. Dominating with Dawson.
Mr. Dawson, we're back again for Dominating with Dawson.
We are back. I'm back. You're back. Let's dominate.
That's right. So it's common where a lot of people sit there and either won't go to the track because their car is not ready, or it doesn't have a turbocharger, it doesn't have a supercharger, or whatever, or their car is just not fast enough, or people are always, oh, well, this is just the car I have right now, but wait till I get a fast car, and wait till I get another fast car, and when you should see me when I get to my cup car or whatever.
Once I get my so-and-so, I can do so-and-so.
Exactly. Oh, I dominate you in there. And I'm like, but that is the Dominating with Dawson, but that's a different story. I wanted to talk a little bit today about why you should race in slower cars.
I think it's great. I'm a Miata guy from way back, so I'm all about racing and doing motorsports in cars that are not going to be out there setting any speed records. Well, I shouldn't say that. I set several land speed records at that Miata, but it was just because nobody had bothered with that displacement before.
Yeah, there's that. But you can learn, like most of the cars we drive are either medium or slow. Like we Garage Heroes in Training side. The fastest car we have is like an E46. Why would you say, hey, it's good for you to race in slower cars?
Number one, right off the bat, a little bit safer, I would think.
For sure.
So I think it's lower consequence. I mean, racing is racing. If it's all relative, if you're racing with a bunch of other slower cars, I'll beat you in a shopping cart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll race you on the 3-wheeler or a big wheel. Whatever it is. So I don't care as long as there's a competitive pack of people of a certain subset of speed. That's where I want to be. So I don't need to be going 195 miles an hour down the straightaway to feel like I'm a race car driver. I feel way more like a race car driver if I could win the Spec Miata national championships with the runoffs or something. I would feel like a real good driver if I could do that, way more so than if I could just show you how my Corvette will do 180 per hour.
some of the most fun weekends we've had were running around in our little B-Spec car or at Sunday Cup car for Good Life. And those things are conservatively not fast. And but the limit's the limit. And as long as you're all at the limit or less intimidated to go to the limit, sometimes you actually get
Yeah.
more out of it.
Yeah. I've definitely gotten the sense from just being in the car as an instructor with a lot of people in high horsepower cars that they are a lot more hesitant for a good reason as far as trying to feel out the limits of the car and get back to the gas. I mean, people in momentum cars, you treat that throttle like a switch and you slam that thing around. You learn a lot about physics and momentum. I mean, if nothing else, because the horsepower is not going to save you. So
Yep.
there's so much more to be learned by in a slow car too. When you talk about that, not just in terms of, I'm not going to keep bagging on people who just have all the horsepower, just drag them down the straightaway and fix their lap times. But I will lift up the efforts of people who are in momentum cars, trying to do everything they can to maintain their momentum and trying to figure out ways to take more creative lines to keep their momentum spun up. And it's a whole different game running a momentum car, which will automatically transfer to being fast in cars which have more power that you can just work develop up into. But I think if you're coming from driving, being fairly adept in a really fast car,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would automatically translate to you being any good in a momentum car. Whereas I think vice versa is likely the case in my own lived experience. I've
Right.
been able to get in. I've been able to get in cars with some serious potential as far as speed and go pretty damn fast.
So historically, you have always given examples of one racetrack. I don't know if you ever heard of it, VIR. It may have been
Yeah. Oh,
referred to once or twice. Well,
yes.
this is
Yes.
going to be the first time where I get to give a reference to a racetrack that I tried to reference with you and you have no clue about, but now you
All right.
do.
Okay. Okay.
Imagine,
Okay. Yes.
imagine you're at pit race.
Yes. I can't imagine that, and I
You
love that
can.
place.
Personal
Huge fan.
experience now.
Yes. I won there. Won a race there.
I know. So take a slower car, like it could be a Miata, it could be a B-Spec car, it could be anything in that general vein. And suppose that you blow it going down into turn 5 and 6, and you are coming out of that what we call the bowl up
Yeah.
that hill. You have a lot of time to think about what you've done wrong with your life.
Yeah, if you being able, yeah, because part of driving, being somebody who's an effective driver of a slow, low power car, is managing that momentum, which often means being very good at where you put your car and at
Mhm.
what attitude on the track it is. But you're right, that's one of those places because you got to go up this big old long hill to go back down another one, and if you cook your goose on the exit there, that's a place where, in my experience, is very sensitive to being really exact on your exit anyway, any kind of car.
Yep.
So if you get squirrely or put your car in the wrong place on the exit there and you're in a slower or low power car, your goose is cooked for that lap. I mean, if you're in a tight competition, everybody's going to eat your lunch.
Yep. And you're going to have nothing else to think about for the next
Yeah.
15, 20 seconds as you're trying to get out of that hole. It's going to take a little bit.
Yeah, because there's no fixing it. That's one of those ones where it's a little too speedy to downshift the second unless you really fuck it up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So I think that the slow cars offer benefits from driver comfort, driver learning. And since things are coming they're coming at you slower. And by slower, I don't mean a lot. Like it could be the difference between like being 103 versus 125 or something
Right.
like that. So it's not like you're slow, but you're slower. You get a little more time and have a little more time in the action to feel it better.
I agree with that. One of the things we haven't touched on that's also very relevant to this topic is the fact that cars like this are a lot easier on consumables
Yep.
in your wallet. They're
Yep.
not going to burn through brake pads or tires as fast. You're not going to be burning up fuel as fast. The tires are a lot less expensive when you're not driving, not getting tires that are like 325 or I don't even know what a big wide tire is, 275 or something in there, but be out there on like probably, I don't know, much narrower tires,
Yep.
225s or something, or 205s, which are cheaper. They're not going to wear as fast if you're not driving a big, heavy, powerful car. So that's another side benefit that many may consider. So it's a consolation you can offer yourself, especially if a smaller car is all you can afford at the moment. That's all you can afford to track. I've definitely used that as consolation. So I was like, well, at least I'm not blowing out all the money these Mustang guys are on tires and brakes and
Yep.
gas.
Yep. So I always like, as an instructor, especially when you're learning, to have a slower car to learn in, because some of the, especially the modern cars, they're so fast. You can kind of cover up
Yep.
somewhat your error
Yeah.
by the big old right pedal that you have there, and just,
Yep.
over, and you don't realize it, that there's more to be done. Like if you get like when you had was yours a 1.6 Miata or 1.8?
I had the big block, buddy. I had the 1.8.
All right, I didn't want to insult you there. So, but when you had your Miata, and then if you were to move over to something more sporty, more powerful, more performing, you would have a much better chance of performing well than, say, a corresponding driver who'd only driven his, let's just pick a 350R Mustang.
Right.
Because they don't see what they're not doing, or don't realize it, because the gas pedal makes up for it.
I'll say this, Bill. I think having a car with a lot of power and that big right foot, that lets you paint the track with a pretty broad brush.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any power, you're out there pinstriping, and it's got to look good, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And
So yeah, there's nothing, nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. You
yeah,
gotta, if you're driving a momentum car, you gotta keep your shit tight. You gotta put the car where it's gotta be to give you the best advantage off of every corner. You gotta brake as deep as possible, going into every brake zone to not give up any advantage you might have gained on the straightaway. You just have to play to all your strengths all the time. There's nobody there. There's nobody there to help you or make you look good. Only you.
yeah, there's no cover up there. And like if you blow a shift, or if you're over slow, or if you don't quite hit apex, or you're late to gas on a big power car, nobody may see it really.
Right.
But you do that in a Honda Fit, or a I don't know, pick any car that's down in the lower performing area. Everybody, including you, will see it as you go down the next straightaway, as your top speed is 5 miles an hour less, as opposed to 1 mile an hour less.
Right. Yeah.
So
That's a fact. I think they'll teach you to be a better driver.
well, and you will appreciate, like, if you do get somebody to switch, like from a high power car to a low power car, perhaps we would have better HPD etiquette, because you will realize that you're sprinting on the straightaways and going crab slow on the turns is killing your fellow friend out there who has no choice but to watch you do this to them every lap.
Yeah, we recently did an episode about my going back to DE to instruct, and I forgot to tell one quick thing. Somebody offered me a chance. Another instructor had there's C7 Z06 Grand Sport,
Wow.
pretty much all the way stock, but on sticky ass brand new Hoosiers. He's like, he took me out for a ride, and this guy's an amazing driver, did a lot of stuff the same way around the course that I would. And he's like, hey, talk to me about it for a while. I was like, hey, you want to take it out? I almost did it, but I was like, no, it's too nice. I don't want to mess your car up. I don't want to be the one with my foot on the loud pedal when this guy's engine blows up, But I just, to give myself a little bit of credit, I turned down a chance to drive a very fancy ass Corvette just because I'm that nice and that scared to mess shit up.
Well,
would you have turned that down, or would you have driven it?
I turned down all student requests to drive unless they're a friend.
This guy was another instructor and a guy I've known for over a decade. And I was still like, thank you, I appreciate it. I told him, I said, you showed me what the car can do when you drive, and I said, you're an excellent driver. I don't need to go prove anything else. This car's amazing. You're amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I have driven friends' cars, but I have not driven anybody like instructor student. I've been asked many times, but
me too. I'll hardly ever do it.
I'll take them out in my car.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know if you do this. If I take somebody out, if anybody's in my car, that's already, I'm dropping a tenth. I'm not going everything.
I drop like a quarter of a tenth off, maybe, unless I forget about that they're in there and get going and forget that I got somebody in the car.
No PBs with somebody in the passenger seat for me. That's all I know.
I drop I never shoot for PBs, but I may back it down a tiny amount. But it's all pretty mechanical for me. You kind of get the same thing.
Yeah. They just hold up the sign going, hey, Latin major, slow down.
That's right. Pretty robotic. My Mr. Roboto in there.
You know what's better than only driving slow cars, though, Ben?
What's that?
Driving all of them. Drive a slow one, a medium one, and a fast one, and because each teach you just something different.
Yeah, and most importantly, bring your really fast ones over to me and Bill and let us drive.
Always good.
Yeah, we'll tell you whether you're doing okay or not after we drive your car.
We'll give you a sticker. We got stickers.
Yes, yeah, stickers for sure. Let us drive your car, then you have a sticker.
That's
Or
right.
you can have a sticker before. You can have a sticker without let us drive your car.
Both. We might need another sticker to put over if anything happens. Just patch it. Right
Oh, look, we've got a lot of stickers. Go stand over there for a minute. Nothing happened.
there. Why does my car have 1,000 stickers on it? Oh, don't you worry. It's fine.
Don't come look over here. I didn't hit anything. Don't come look. That's like my son literally is in a phase where it's like he's like, I didn't draw on the wall. Don't come over here. Don't look at the wall. I didn't draw on it. Like,
It was like that when I got here.
what do you think happened here, buddy?
Yeah, that's one thing you don't want to do when you're on the racetrack is you do not want to draw on the wall. Never
right.
a good thing.
Don't draw on those walls. Expensive for you.
Expensive.
And you and you.
Yeah, it's definitely not crayon that just gets rubbed out. So,
Oh.
all right, sir. I think slow cars are fun.
I do too. I advocate for people that drive slow cars. There's no shame in it. In fact, I think there's a lot of glory in being somebody who can really drive a slow car fast and execute. I'll tell you this: for years and years of instructing with the Mustang Club and being out there with my little piddling ass half-ass spec Miata, a lot of the guys in that club they all think I'm some kind of superstar driver because I did enough stuff. I did enough impressive stuff with my Miata. The Mustang guys were like, "Whoa, this guy can drive." I'm like, nope, I'm just good at driving a slow car. And these guys were all just out there hossing around in their big old Mustangs. They were really impressed by this guy who would just harass the shit out of them in the Miata. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of guts and glory you can prove with your slow car.
Mm-hmm. It's always better to under-promise and over-deliver,
Give me a chance to succeed. Will you? Right? Let me get out there and prove it.
Indeed. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Dawson.
That's a good one. It's always exciting to talk about slow cars. I get super into it.
Yeah. Just don't make them too slow. Just take a slow car and make it a little faster.
Relatively slow is what we mean.
Exactly. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.